Hello, Mbili Mwanza here, and in the past 6 years I've been blessed enough to find myself holding several leadership positions. I've been fortunate enough to help businesses come from being unofficial to being official corporate companies with proper systems and structures. So if you clicked on this video, you've probably been running a business for a while. Your team has been growing and now the cracks are beginning to show. Your employees report to work quite alright, but really when they are there, they don't really know what to do. They can be in their seats, but mostly what they are doing is just looking busy and watching the clock. You thought bringing in more people will get more things done, but instead you're buried even under more problems. Productivity is at an all-time low and you're wondering what exactly went wrong. Or maybe you're just starting out. You're about to bring in people in the business and you want to get things right the first time. You don't want to get all the battle wounds and bruises. You just want the correct setup the first time. Whichever stage you're at, you're in the right place, because in today's video, we're going deep on how to structure a company, build real leadership, and make your organization actually work. Here's the truth. Growth does not fix disorganization. It actually amplifies it. If you have a small, disorganized team, don't think that you're going to have a bigger, more organized team. Hiring more people without structure doesn't make you more productive. It creates chaos. How so? Well, everybody reports to the founder. No one knows who approves what. Your top performers or best people feel confused and they feel stuck. The whole organization basically feels like it's spinning its wheels. The result? You spend more time managing confusion than building the business. So, what's the root of the problem? Well, I'm gonna assume that before you brought everybody in, you looked through their CVs and you believe these are skilled enough people to be able to implement and execute whatever it is that you brought them on board for. And to you, since they're skilled, they should just be able to execute, right? Wrong. Hierarchy is still very, very important. It's one thing that you should understand and appreciate as a leader. You should still be able to build a competent and powerful leadership team. But even if you have a leadership team, I'm sure you've run into a problem where your leaders are not really respected by their subordinates. Hence, even if you give them instructions, things are still not moving. The fault for the team not getting things done is not on them, it's on you. You've not been intentional enough to be able to build a proper and competent leadership team. One of the things that leads to disrespect, especially between subordinates and leaders, or let's just call them superiors, is what is called the leadership gap. So let me keep it blunt with you. The leadership gap can be violated either by the founder himself or even his leadership team. What it is a distance between a superior and a subordinate. These two people are not equal. So the mistake most leaders make is that they're trying to be too close to their team. Those team members now begin to think everybody is equal. And as such, between the two positions, lines become blurred. The leader wants to be liked and not respected. And so what happened? Well, if you've not established a clear boundary or a clear gap between you and your subordinate, the subordinate will push their boundaries. You will try and give them instructions or orders and they will do nothing. The orders will become debates, and really in that organization there will be no authority. Now if there is no authority, what does that mean for the bottom line? It means that nothing will be able to move because everybody will be debating against each other. So what's the key? Leaders must be able to implement the leadership gap. Leadership gap does not mean arrogance, it just means professional separation. A leader can be kind, but must never, ever be casual. Because the moment you stop leading, the team stops following. So in human nature, people just don't follow who they think they are equal to. People don't follow peers. They follow people who they respect. As a leader, if you've not established any respect between you and your team, unfortunately, they will not be able to follow you. Before we talk about how to actually structure a company, I want you to understand the three types of relationship that occur in the whole company structure. The first one being superior to subordinate. Then there is peer-to-peer and subordinate to superior. These are three different types of relationships that must occur in a whole company structure. Let's talk about the first one, superior to subordinate. In this relationship, instructions flow from the top going down and reports flow from down going to the top. Whatever instructions are given by the superior to the subordinate should be taken with seriousness. They should literally be received as orders. If a superior gives instruction to a subordinate and those things are not executed on immediately, that is considered insubordination and is a chargeable offense. Sometimes it can even be a fireable offense. Suggestions, of course, are expected, but what a subordinate tells to a superior should merely be taken as a suggestion. The final decision rests upon the superior. Then we have peer-to-peer relationships. Here, authority is equal. Whatever instructions are shared between peers should merely be taken as suggestions. They are not enforceable orders. If one peer instructs another peer about a certain instruction, let's say you're a marketing manager, you instruct a finance manager for certain things. If that finance manager misses their deadline on their orders that were given to them above because of your instruction as a marketing manager, unfortunately that's just going to fall on them, because they should have been sharp enough to be able to know that the instruction that have been given by this marketing manager, who I'm the same authority with, are just a suggestion. They are not enforceable. I can either take them or not, but if I have got more important things to do that really rest upon what I'm supposed to report about, I can take those instructions. So as a leader, as a founder, you must make this clear to all your leadership team. If people do not know that they're peers, this can cause confusion in the whole organization, right? Now, last relationship is a subordinate to superior. Now, a subordinate is supposed to understand that they cannot override instruction given by the superior, or in short, they cannot direct the superior. They can raise concerns, they can raise issues, they can give suggestions, but that's about it. If a subordinate does not understand what their position is and how they are supposed to behave against their superiors, this can cause also a lot of confusion. Mostly this is what I've seen in most unstructured companies. Superiors do not know what their position is because really the leader, the owner of the business, the founder, has not really put them in their place and has not really given them proper directive on how they're supposed to behave against their superiors. So how do you create a structure that actually works? We must understand this. Having an org chart alone is not enough. It's just a sketch. The real value is in how that structure actually works, how it actually functions. So, in order for you to create a functional org chart, you have to start with the business functions. Here we're talking about operations, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about finance, and so on and so forth, right? You have to look at what the business needs at the particular moment. As you are growing, you understand that the business itself will actually tell you what function is actually needed at that particular point. Mainly when you start out, you're probably just alone. As you keep on working and acquiring more clients, you probably understand that maybe delivering the paperwork, delivering invoices and so on is being like too much for you. So you might be forced to bring in a PA to probably assist you on how to manage all these things, right? Now, as you keep on growing with that PA of yours, you probably find that you alone cannot handle sales. So you bring in a salesperson. You find that one salesperson cannot handle the sales alone. You bring in more people, and they're about to create now a sales team. You create a sales department, right? That sales department begins to sell and begin to hit their targets and so on. You find that the money is becoming too much and you're not able to properly manage it. You bring in then the finance department. So that's how you start. You start with the functions that are needed at that particular point and make sure that in those functions you create proper structures that everybody can follow. Now, when you create each and every function, you should be able to create proper and clear ownership of each and every function. So one person will be responsible for the whole function, everything that occurs in that function. For example, that sales department, somebody is going to be the manager of that sales department, and they're going to be a clear owner of that department. You are not going to be involved in that day-to-day running of that organization, right? All you're going to get is a report from this particular person who owns that department. Then you just have to assign proper responsibilities of each and every function. Every function should have its own KPIs. The KPIs are actually key performance indicators to see if this function is properly performing. And each and every function that you create as you grow this particular organization should have clear reporting lines. So once you have all these functions and you've probably created the people that are going to own all these organizations, they understand their KPIs, understand their responsibilities and the reporting lines. That's when now, let's say if you're just planning this org chart without having the people first, that's when now you can assign each and every person to each particular posts. So you're getting people regarding the business needs, not the other way around, right? You're not getting people first, then doing the, you know what I mean? What most leaders will miss it is that they will promote someone because they've been with them for the longest. And that is how people create weak managers. Just because someone has been with you for the longest does not mean that they can make a good leader. So at this point, we've all understood how you can create a proper structure for a business. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, but I have to get through this video. So most organizations have been able to set up structures before. I've been in organizations where I've found structures have already been there, but unfortunately those structures still don't work. The secret weapon to make your organizational structure actually work is what is called organizational health. Without organizational health, the structure is really just a skeleton. Organizational health is what gives it structure and gives it life. Now, what a healthy organization looks like is that the leadership team is properly aligned. Communication is clear and intentional. There is a culture of accountability. Conflict is addressed and not avoided. Employees feel connected to the mission. Now, you can have the best strategy, the best structure, the best tools, but if your team is not properly organized and properly aligned, they don't trust each other, they don't communicate clearly, they don't take ownership, the company will choke. So here's my advice to you as founders. First of all, you need to reinforce clarity. What organizational clarity is that the leadership team must speak the same language. And the leadership team must be small enough to be able to have effective meetings and be able to share specific ideas and have healthy conflict. If the leadership team contains more than 8 to 12 people, that's way too much, that's overkill. You need a small leadership team that's speaking the same language. There is no way the sales manager does not know exactly what is happening in the finance department. Everybody should be privy to the information and they must all know the same things and they must all speak the same language. Wherever the subordinates go to air their concerns and whatnot, there must be a possibility, a probability that they'll be able to receive the same answers. I've been part of a team where I did not know exactly what was going on in whichever department. All I knew was what was in my department. And sometimes when my department needs something, we would go in and raise all these concerns, especially in a public meeting, and that was not really all that good because it was undermining the authority of that other department. The management team was not speaking the same language. So at the end of the day, it was just all this confusion all over the place, all this negativity, because there was no clarity. So make sure that you reinforce clarity. Make sure that everybody is speaking the same language. The other thing is that you should not tolerate toxic behavior from whichever individual, no matter who they are. Even if they are a toxic performer, never tolerate all that. It's either you address it immediately and root it out, or you just get rid of that person. You should make sure to align your leadership team and just the whole team and the whole organization around one mission, and make sure to repeat that mission and that message each and every single time that you guys meet. Each and every single opportunity that you get to speak to your team, make sure that you reinforce and repeat all that mission that you believe in and everything like that, right? You should be able to hire leaders who can actually lead, not just do the work. We already talked about that. It's about people who've worked with you the longest, they've been able to perform, let's say in a sales department. Now you want to promote them to leadership. Most of the people, that hasn't worked for them. One other tip that I have for you, especially to be able to keep and maintain top performance, is that you should have a proper vision for them. They should be able to see themselves advance either in pay or in position in that organization. To be able to keep somebody who's smart and intelligent and a top performer, you must be able to have a clearer vision for their life than they do for themselves. That's the only way you can keep a top performer. If you have a top performer in your organization and you're also lost, you don't know exactly where you're going, unfortunately that top performer will soon be able to leave and go to other organizations that have got a better vision for them. So don't be that guy. Don't be that guy without a vision and a plan. You're just bringing in people for no reason to be able to brag to your friends that your organization is growing. Grow your organization strategically and structured. So what have we learned today? If you want your leadership team to be able to be effective, make sure that you establish that leadership gap. You should be able to have clear roles and responsibilities for each and every position that's in the whole organizational structure. Building a structure alone is not enough. It's all about organizational health, and you must be able to build a structure that works for your business. Start with the functions before you start with the people. Now, if you've gotten value from this video, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. If you know anybody that will be able to benefit from this video, tag them or just copy the link and paste it to their WhatsApp. Put this on your WhatsApp status. I'm sure the entrepreneurs on your contacts will be able to appreciate this message. This will be able to help them to scale and structure proper and effective and healthy companies. Now, everything that we're offering at the moment will be in the link below. If you're trying to book us for consultation, of course, you can message us through WhatsApp. The link is in the description. And if you're trying to take advantage of any of the offers that we have, the links are in the description. All right, see you in the next one.